Hello, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and this is episode 16 of my Billions and Billions challenge. In today's episode, I am going to set up an automatic production facility that will automatically process ores from my ME system right here into their finished products. So let's get started. The first thing I want to do is I want to describe a few of the conduits that I'm going to be using today. I'm going to be using the item conduit from Ender.io and the ME conduits also from the mod Ender.io. So what the ME conduits can do is they can hook up to the regular ME system conduits or the covered cables and stuff, just like covered cable can. But I can use facades on these things to make everything look nice, and it's easier to use them, as well as they can be in the same block space as other conduits from the mod Ender.io, as I demonstrated right here. So that's going to be pretty useful for some of my routing today. So let's go ahead and actually go to my building. I have a building built for my automatic processing facility. And actually, before we go there, let's grab everything that I need, and then I can be on my way. So I should have just about everything I need in this chest right here. Looks like I'm going to need to put a couple of these modular storage units in my ME system so I can grab them just a little bit later, but let's run over. So the facility I have built is 3 floors plus a basement, so there's 4 total floors for me to use, and I have everything organized already. So let me grab my Yeta wrench here so I can show you how I have things routed, because I've already routed a lot of my cables. So in through here, I have dense ME conduit, which can carry up to 32 channels, just like the dense covered cable. And I have my power coming in through Ender energy conduit, and that is all hooked up out here. And let's see this. So the dense ME conduit is coming off of a dense covered cable right below the street level right there, and then my energy is coming from my capacitor that goes throughout the underground of my base. So that's where everything's coming from. For the upper floors, all my conduit just runs through the wall here, and that is pretty much the main reason why I'm using this conduit, is that I can run up the wall and no one would be any the wiser, unless you actually had a Yeta wrench of your own to look at this. So what I'm going to do on each floor is I'm going to have some processing. So like on this floor, for example, I'm going to have pulverizers. On the second floor, I'm also going to have more pulverizers. And then on the third floor up here, I'm going to have redstone furnaces. In the basement, I'm going to have a storage facility, but we'll get to that later. For right now, I want to go ahead and set up some of my systems. And let's go ahead and grab... I can't grab the ores just yet, but what I can do is I can set up the buses and the storage. So over here, we're going to have export buses on the left, and then on the right, I'm going to have import buses. Let's go ahead and try to reorganize my inventory just a little bit. So on each floor, I'm going to have an export bus on the left and an import bus on the right. And let's go ahead and replicate that up on the second and third floors. And there we go with that. So what I want to do next is let's go ahead and set some upgrades into these buses. For the import buses, I am going to be simply just throwing in 4 acceleration cards. However, for the export buses, I'm going to be putting in 2 of the capacity cards and then 2 of the acceleration cards. The capacity cards allow me to have 9 different things in the export bus at a time, and I am going to be using all 9 of them in just a little bit. So let's go ahead and replicate that on our other buses here. So the import buses just get acceleration cards. The export buses get 2 of each. The acceleration cards just vastly speed up the rate at which these things function, so that is nice. So the next thing I'm going to do is let's go ahead and set up the modular storage units, because I do need some inventory space. So my modular storage units are just going to be placed on top of the buses. And I have 2 more in my ME system that I'll need to grab here in just a second. But this is just basically where my pulverizer and furnace system will interact with my ME system. So let's grab the 2 remaining modular storage units that I should have. I actually probably have a couple more. And we'll just place these right here. Does that have stuff in it? No. The green bar fooled me into thinking that it had, the green bar right here fooled me into thinking that there was stuff in there. So what I can do now is let's clear out just a little bit of my inventory so that I can do this, so that I can organize this just a little bit easier here. So actually I'm going to have to get rid of, let's get rid of that. And that's just for right now. Let's grab all of this stuff so that I can set up my buses. So this level is going to be stuff that I will pulverize and only pulverize all of this stuff. Like for example, diamond ore obviously becomes diamonds, lapis lazuli ore becomes lapis, coal, redstone, glowstone, nether quartz. Both the charged Certus quartz ore and the Certus quartz ore become regular Certus. If I were to use a sag mill, which I'm not, the charged Certus quartz would actually give me charged Certus, but I'm not too concerned about that. And the emerald ore obviously gives me emeralds. So let's empty out all of this stuff into this chest here because I know I have the export bus set up correctly. And then let's jump up here and grab this stuff. So actually I have 9 things here. I can't count real quickly. So let's go ahead and set this export bus up. So this will give me stuff that I will need to further process. For example, the iron ore will give me pulverized iron, which I will then furnace in the floor above to get me iron ingots. And I have all of that stuff also in this chest right here. So let's go ahead and set up this last export bus here and throw this stuff in here. And as we can see, it is already functioning. I have some pulverized copper and some pulverized iron in there. And I noticed that the last export bus was also functioning. So that is fantastic. The next thing I want to do is let's go back down to the bottom here and grab these. And the next thing that I want to do is I want to start putting down some pulverizers. But before I actually get started here, what I'm going to do is place down a pulverizer. And I'm going to configure this. Oh, it's on top of... Oh, I see. I was like, why is it getting energy? It's on top of the energy conduit. That's why it's getting power. So let's go ahead and configure this. What I want to do is clear it out by shift left clicking here. In the back is going to be an input, and that would be the back side there. And then on top is going to be the output, and I need it to be the orange output. So let's go ahead and grab this. And what I want to do now is I want to set this, I need to set this red print. So what we're going to do real fast is we're going to set this down here. And so it's configured to be input through the back and output to the top. Is we're going to grab my red print, and I believe I just need to right click it. So the next time I place down a pulverizer, it should have the same settings. So let's see if that's true. It is not. Okay. So what I did wrong there was I didn't have it in my hand. So let's try this one more time. And I think I cleared my red print accidentally. Let's see if I can't reset that. Sorry about that. I don't use red prints a lot, but they are very useful. Let's go ahead and try this again. So there we go. It is reset. And every time I do that, I reset it. And I don't mean to. Okay, so let's get putting down these pulverizers. Oh shoot, and I did the same thing again. So let's go ahead and just do this one manually. And then and I'm putting down furnaces instead. My goodness. Oh, it's because it auto replaced it in my inventory. After I placed down this pulverizer, it replace it in my inventory for whatever reason with the redstone furnace instead. So let's try this, you know, like a 15th time it seems. So there we go. The furnaces are being configured correctly, and that's good to know. Okay, so these are just a little bit tricky here. That's okay. So it looks like everything is good so far. So what I'm going to do with these 2 pulverizers on the end here, and I'm going to have to configure these two pulverizers on this end a little bit differently as well. So we're going to do input through the bottom for those guys, and I'll set those up a little bit later. But for right now, what I need to do with these two pulverizers right here, I need to set them to be auto input. And that's because they won't be connected to an item conduit. However, they are adjacent to the inventory that they need to be pulling from, so I can go ahead and do that. So let's go up here and set down these next pulverizers. And you can hear the pulverizers in the level below starting to churn out some items. And I did not mean to fall like that, but that's okay. And this is just a little bit tricky because obviously I can fall through the floor here. Okay, so there we go. Once again, I need to auto input on these guys. And then for these on the ends, let's go ahead and input through the bottom. I will set those up later. Okay, so now let's do the furnaces. They're actually going to be set up the same way, so I don't even need to change this, I don't think. Yes, I do. Okay, I wasn't sure if I needed to or not. Let's go ahead and input through the back, output to the top. Let's clear that by shift right clicking and then right click to set it back up. Cool. Okay, that worked out pretty well. And we just got 9 more to go, and then we have all our machines down. So the next thing I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my machines. And I have a bunch of resonant conversion kits already made up to do that. And all I have to do is right click on these guys and it upgrades them all the way up to the resonant stage. So I'm going to go ahead and do this off camera because it's loud and it's just me right clicking on all of the machines. And once I have that done, I will be right back. So I think the next thing that I want to do is I want to get the items out of these pulverizers and redstone furnaces upstairs into my ME system. And it's going to be pretty simple because these blocks have auto export functions. All I need to do is set up some item duct. And this will just run all the way over to the modular storage unit there. And so I do have a couple of pulverizers that were active and then shut off because their inventories were full. However, their inventories should clear out and they should restart. So that's fantastic. So that means that the items are making their way over to here, and let's see if we can catch anything in here, and we can. So it looks like it is functioning. So now all I have to do is replicate that above, and then we should be good to go. And I think that pulverizer back there restarted as well. Yep, there it goes. And so we know that that is all connected up correctly. And then lastly, we have these redstone furnaces up here to do. And then the next thing I need to set up is the getting the items into the rest of the furnaces and pulverizers. And for that, I'm going to be using the item conduit from Ender.io. And what I'm going to be doing is, first off, let's set up this. This will be extract, obviously, from the source. And then these are going to be insert. However, I can make these just a little bit quicker if I grab my conduit probe here. And I don't remember exactly how to use this. Oh, I hit a button. Okay, the Y button, that's what I hit. And okay, I copied the settings, and now I think I have to paste them. If I remember right, I just changed the mode to paste mode, and then let's set this up and let's see if this works. I think I just I'm not doing something right here. Okay, I just need to keep it in this mode right here, and then I can use it like so. And that should set it up to be insert. Now what I need to do is let's go ahead and just lay down the rest of the conduit. And for down here, what I'm going to... Oh, shoot. I forgot I'm on the top level here. What I'm going to do is... I'm going to actually disable that connection. I'm going to drop this down, and then we will be inserting to these last two last two machines, rather, down here. And that needs to be insert. I think that's good to go. And obviously that's not getting items yet because I don't have the rest of it done. Okay, let's make sure that these over here are getting items. They should in short order. One more thing I am going to do is on the extract points, I'm going to add 15 extract speed upgrades. That allows the effective speed to be 64 items per operation rather than 4. Each extract speed upgrade adds 4 more items. So for example, if I only have 1 in there, it will be 8 instead of just the 4. And so what I want to do on all 3 of these is have the maximum amount of extract. So let's see if these are getting items. They're not yet. So what did I do wrong? I think I know what I did wrong. Yep, I know. Do I? Oh, I didn't do that for the furnaces. That's my bad. Okay, there we go. That is functioning correctly now. So let's go ahead and get the probe here and set up all of the insert points here so that I can get these machines rolling. And I can subtly see the change in shade here, so I can tell that my machines are turning on once these conduits are changed to allow them to insert. So now what I have to do is just replicate that for the other 2 floors here. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do this off camera. It's literally the same process. I just need to set this down, set this to be extract always on, add speed upgrades, and then set all these up to be insert. And I'm going to go ahead and do this off camera, and once I have all of that done, I will be right back. So I have now finished installing all of my item conduit and properly configuring it. As we can see, if I go up through my floors, all my machines are running. That's because I have a decent backlog of items. And the last thing that I would like to do for today's episode is to set up a bunch of storage buses. On the floors upstairs, I'm using 6 channels of my ME system. I have access to 32 channels in this building through the dense ME conduit that I have run up above through the ceiling right here. And so I have an area set out to use 24 storage buses. And the advantage of using storage buses over storage cells is that I can hook up black hole units to these storage buses, and each black hole unit can store up to just over 2 billion of an individual type of item. So by having 24 storage buses here, I can set up 24 black hole units, and each one of those can hold up to 2 billion of one item in particular. So for example, what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be setting up my storage buses to hold, each one will hold one of these items. So let's go ahead and start that. So what I need to do for each of these is, let's just go in order here. I need to set each storage bus up to hold one of the items and to be a positive priority. So this is semi-monotonous here, but it is rather quick. As long as I remember where I'm at in terms of the sequence of items here. Okay, so that was diamonds, coal, certus, nickel, okay, I just did silver. Yep, I knew I'd forget my place at some point. And then let's restart down here. I just did lead, so I'm at uranium, gold, 10, copper, and then iron ingots. So the next thing I want to do is let's go ahead and throw these things in here and then grab me some black hole units. So I should only need that many. I'm not sure if I counted that right. So all I need to do is set these up like so. And then theoretically, when I grab all of this stuff and throw it into my ME system, by doing this, it will go into these black hole units. So let's see, each one of these should have at least 64 items and more if I'm currently processing them upstairs, such as nether quartz and say glowstone dust. And it looks like everything's working as intended, so that's fantastic. Let's make sure everything is working. It is. So I do have an area down here for 7 more items, and I will set that up at some point in the future, but I'm not going to worry about that right now, as I think this is a pretty good wrapping up point. So in today's episode, I set up this automatic processing facility. It will process 18 different things. On this floor down here, it will process things that get pulverized only, and then the next 2 floors are things that need pulverized and then furnaced. So that's where I get the number 18 from. This is 9, this is 9, and then this is just a duplicate 9 of the floor below. It's the same 9 items. So, and then I set up this storage facility, which will be nice moving forward because it can hold a lot of items such as iron, copper, gold, emeralds, and diamonds. So if you enjoyed today's episode, definitely feel free to drop a like down below. And if you enjoy watching automation type stuff like this in modern Minecraft, definitely consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. Anyways, signing off, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.